Okay, let's jump right into this explainer, and honestly, I'm hoping we can lift a massive weight off your shoulders today. We're going to tell a story that completely busts the paralyzing myth of the original genius. Because look, if you've ever stared at a blank page or a blank screen and just felt that crushing pressure to create something entirely 100% new from scratch, well, this one is absolutely for you. Take David Bowie, for example. He completely understood something profound that instantly frees us. He said, "The only art I'll ever study is stuff that I can steal from." You see, you really don't need to conjure ideas out of thin air. Mostly because, well, nothing comes from nowhere. The real secret to creativity isn't some immaculate conception. It's learning exactly what to study and, quite frankly, what to steal. So let's look at section 1, the myth of originality, and why everything is a remix. We've got to start by completely reframing how we look at the world. We need to shift away from that impossible burden of absolute originality and instead lean into the liberating act of embracing influence. Think about the concept of the mashup, 1 + 1 = 3. Now, how exactly does that work? Well, it's kind of like drawing two parallel lines, right? By doing that, you automatically create a third line of negative space right between them. Or think about genetics, how your parents' DNA blended to make you. Ideas work the exact same way. They combine to make something entirely new, something way greater than the sum of their parts. And this right here is exactly why absolute originality is a total myth. Every single new idea is really just a genetic remix of previous ideas. Moving right along to section 2, the genealogy of ideas, or picking your ancestors. Now, since we know for a fact that we're shaped by the things we love, we have to make a choice. Look, we obviously can't pick our biological family, right? But we can absolutely pick our creative ancestors. And here's where we see a huge difference between hoarders and artists. Hoarders just collect indiscriminately. They grab everything. Artists, on the other hand, collect selectively. It's that old saying, garbage in, garbage out. So our job isn't to just hoard every single thing we see scrolling online. It's to selectively collect only the good ideas, the ones that speak directly to our souls. Because at the end of the day, you're really only going to be as good as the stuff you surround yourself with. So how do you actually go about building this family tree of inspiration? It's like a giant puzzle. First, chew on one thinker you really love. Just study everything about them. Then, find 3 people that thinker loved and find out everything about them. Finally, climb that tree as far up as you can possibly go, and then start your own branch. Doing this is a total game changer. It ensures you never feel alone when you sit down to do your own work, because you've basically got these friendly ghosts standing right behind you, pushing you forward. All right, section 3, copy your heroes and faking it till you make it. Let's be real, imposter syndrome is gonna kick in. When it does, how do we actually start making stuff? Simple. We dress for the job we want, and we pretend to be our heroes until we figure out who we actually are. But okay, to do this safely, and honestly, we really need to understand the stark difference between bad theft and good theft. Plagiarism? That's bad theft. That's just passing someone else's work off as your own. Not cool. Copying, though, is reverse engineering. It's simply practicing. It is exactly like a mechanic taking apart a car engine piece by piece just to see how the whole shebang actually works. So here's your actual blueprint for effective copying. First off, steal from all your heroes, not just one. I mean, think about it. If you only rip off one person, you're just a cheap knockoff. But if you steal from 100 different heroes and truly understand their mindset, people are going to call you wildly original. The trick is to steal the thinking behind the style, not just the surface level stuff. Internalize their way of looking at the world. And, this is absolutely crucial, use your hands. Computers literally put a sheet of glass between you and the work. So do yourself a favor. Step away from the screen and get physical with your ideas. Which brings us to section 4. Imitation to emulation, and finding your unique voice. This is where the real transformation happens. We're moving from simply mimicking others to that magical breakthrough moment where we finally unlock our own unique style. Take it from Francis Ford Coppola. He said, "We want you at first to steal from us. You will put it in your own voice, and that's how you will find your voice." The great masters literally want you to take from them. They know that trying to copy them is the necessary bridge to discovering your true identity. You start out copying, but you end up finding yourself. And this theory plays out everywhere in the real world. Like, Kobe Bryant openly admitted that all his moves were stolen from watching tapes of his heroes. But here's the catch. He had to adapt those moves to fit his own specific body type. Or look at Conan O'Brien. He tried his absolute hardest to be David Letterman. He completely failed, and in doing so, he became Conan. I love this because it proves that our failure to perfectly recreate our idols, our falling short, is exactly the spot where our own unique brilliance is born. Section 5. Do good work. The liberating reality of the boring creative. Okay, so now that we've found our voice, we need to figure out how to sustain it out there in the real world. Because let's face it, inspiration is great, but execution is what actually matters. You can forget that played out romantic image of the reckless, tortured genius running wild. Doing the work actually means establishing a beautifully boring, steady routine. Keep your day job. Seriously, it funds your art without the soul-crushing financial stress. Learn about money. Live within your means. And hey, embrace constraints. Did you know Dr. Seuss wrote Green Eggs and Ham using only 50 different words just to win a bet? No way, right? But constraints actually spark your very best ideas. Finally, get a physical calendar, cross off each day you put in the work so you don't break the chain, and keep a logbook to track just how far your ship has sailed. So when you start looking at the world as this vibrant collection of things just waiting to be reverse engineered and remixed, I want to leave you with one vital question to chew on. What are you going to steal today? Because, remember, nothing, and I mean nothing, is truly original. And once you finally embrace that, your creative potential becomes absolutely limitless. So go out there, find your ancestors, and start building your own branch on the family tree.